Terrifying moments inside an Austin bar.
Somebody advising there's a active shooter.
As a gunman opened fire in the busy downtown entertainment district, you can see people inside Buford's Beer Garden taking cover.
Hey, close the doors.
Multiple law enforcement officials telling NBC News the gunman wearing a sweatshirt that said "Property of Allah" over a shirt with an Iranian flag theme started shooting around 2 a.m. What did you hear? How many shots?
Yeah, the first time, definitely over a dozen, probably 15 plus, just at successions, bang, bang, bang.
A doorbell camera captured him leaving his apartment hours before it happened. Gray hoodie. Calm. No urgency. Just a man walking out of a door like it was any other night. It was not any other night. One day earlier, the United States and Israel had launched strikes on Iran that killed the supreme leader. And this man, before he left that apartment, had already chosen what he was going to wear. A hoodie with 4 words printed across the front. A shirt underneath it carrying the flag of the country that had just been struck. He had 2 weapons. He had already studied the street. And somewhere between walking out of that apartment and arriving on one of the busiest nightlife strips in Texas, he made a decision that nobody in law enforcement saw coming, because nobody had been watching. A judge had already put a finding on his court record. A pattern of family violence. Supervised visits with his own children. Mental health encounters flagged in Texas. A prior arrest. None of it connected. None of it flagged. Neither the local police nor the FBI had his name on any list. 3 people did not go home from West 6th Street. And the question sitting at the center of an open FBI terrorism investigation is not just what happened that night, it is everything that was already on the record before he ever walked out that door. Welcome to Crime Spectre, where we examine the cases that reveal the darkest corners of human nature. Subscribe to Crime Spectre for breaking crime news, ongoing trial coverage, and details of intriguing unsolved cases. Hit that notification bell. Savitha Shana was 21 years old, an Austin native and dual-degree student at the University of Texas. UT Austin President Jim Davis described her in a statement to students and staff as a child of loving parents, a loyal friend, and a student preparing to change the world. Ryder Harrington was 19, a former Texas Tech University student and member of the Beta Theta Pi fraternity who had come out on a Saturday night on West 6th Street. Jorge Pederson was 30 years old. He was taken to hospital after the shooting and placed on life support. On Monday, March 2nd, he was taken off life support and died. Austin Police Chief Lisa Davis confirmed at a Monday press conference that the death toll was expected to rise to 4, as another victim remained in critical condition. 14 others were hospitalized. 3 of them in critical condition. The crime scene Austin Police Chief Davis described as complex and very large, more than 150 witnesses interviewed, thousands of hours of video still under review. A makeshift memorial appeared outside Buford's backyard beer garden on Monday. Bouquets, a heart-shaped tribute, flowers laid by people who had no connection to the victims beyond the fact that they live in Austin and understand what it means to be on that street on a Saturday night. Bullet impacts were visible on nearby buildings and trees along West 6th Street. Ndiaga Diagne was 53 years old, born in Senegal, and a naturalized United States citizen. He entered the country on a B2 tourist visa on March 13, 2000. 6 years later, in June 2006, his status changed to lawful permanent resident after marrying a U.S. citizen. On April 5, 2013, he became a naturalized citizen. He had multiple addresses in Texas over the years, including Pflugerville, a quiet suburb north of Austin, and most recently the Eastridge Apartments on Ross Road in Del Valle. Neighbors at the Del Valle apartment described him as friendly. They confirmed he owned a black SUV and had seen it parked in its usual spot around 7 in the evening on Saturday, hours before the shooting. Neither the Austin Police Department nor the FBI had Diagne on their radar before the night of March 1, 2026. But the record existed. A 2022 divorce decree from a Texas district court judge found Diagne had a history or pattern of committing family violence during the previous 2 years. His second wife had filed for divorce citing cruel treatment. The judge ordered his visits with their 2 children to be supervised by a child protection agency and ordered him to pay child support. In his own handwriting in court documents, Diagne denied the allegations and complained his ex-wife had taken their children out of school without his consent and refused to allow him to see or speak to them, describing it as emotionally damaging. In 2022, he was arrested in Texas on a misdemeanor charge of collision with vehicle damage. In 2017, a woman in New York sued him claiming he struck her with a car while she was walking. He had a prior arrest in New York City for illegal vending. Additional sealed arrests in New York between 2008 and 2016 have been referenced by law enforcement, but their contents have not been publicly disclosed. Authorities confirmed mental health encounters during his time in Texas were under active review as part of the investigation. Both weapons used in the shooting, a pistol and a rifle, were legally purchased in San Antonio in 2017. A court finding of family violence. Supervised child visits. Mental health encounters. A prior arrest. A civil lawsuit. Sealed records. And 2 legally purchased firearms. Not one of those data points put his name on a single watch list. At 1:59 in the morning on Sunday, March 1, 2026, Austin Travis County EMS received the first 911 call reporting shots fired on West 6th Street. Before that call, a doorbell camera at the Eastridge Apartments in Del Valle, identified by a neighbor who captured the footage, recorded a man matching Diagne's description leaving a unit hours before the attack, wearing a gray hoodie. That gray hoodie had 4 words printed on the front, "Property of Allah." Underneath it, a shirt bearing the design of an Iranian flag. He left that apartment dressed and prepared. The large black SUV Diagne drove was seen parked in its usual spot at 7 in the evening. Somewhere between 7 p.m. and 1:59 a.m., he drove from Del Valle to the West 6th Street Entertainment District, one of the most crowded stretches of road in Texas on a Saturday night. Bars on both sides. Music audible from the street. Hundreds of people moving between venues. Diagne did not park and walk in. He circled the block. Slow, deliberate, studying the street, the crowd, the layout. To anyone watching, it looked like someone searching for parking. Then he stopped the SUV directly in front of Buford's Backyard Beer Garden at the corner of West 6th and Rio Grande. He turned on his hazard lights and opened fire with a pistol from inside the vehicle, firing at patrons on the outdoor patio. He never entered the bar. The SUV rolled forward and parked near Wood Street. Diagne stepped out onto the pavement on foot and continued firing with the pistol as he moved east on 6th Street through a crowd of people scattering in every direction. Then he switched weapons, pulling out a rifle and continuing to fire as he walked. He came with 2 weapons and used both of them. 57 seconds after the first 911 call, Austin police, already stationed in the area due to the volume of Saturday night foot traffic, engaged Diagne. 3 officers returned fire. Diagne was shot and killed on the pavement of West 6th Street. After the scene was secured, an explosives team was called to evaluate Diagne's SUV. Investigators had found items inside the vehicle described by the FBI's acting special agent in charge as indicators of a potential nexus to terrorism. The specific contents of the vehicle have not been publicly disclosed. A Quran was found in Diagne's possession at the scene. What did he intend after the ammunition ran out, and what was inside that vehicle that required an explosives team before investigators could approach it?
We are still in the early hours of this investigation. This is a complicated and large crime scene. Our priority is finding answers and the motives behind this crime. I cannot imagine the grief, pain, and loss these families are feeling today, and my heart is with them. Savitha, Shana, and Ryder Harrington. To the impacted families that are still waiting for answers, we are here for you. When I arrived on this scene, again, it was complex and very large. The work being done by the Austin Fire Department, the Travis County Emergency Medical Service, and APD was quite impressive. Once the initial scene was secured, we reached out to our federal partners to assist in this resource-intensive scene and to address concerns of potential terrorism.
Within hours of the shooting, the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force was deployed. Austin Police Chief Lisa Davis confirmed federal partners were called in specifically to address concerns of potential terrorism. The FBI's acting special agent in charge of the San Antonio division, Alex Dorian, stated at a Sunday morning press conference there were indicators on the subject and in his vehicle that indicated a potential nexus to terrorism. Search warrants were executed at multiple locations. At the Eastridge Apartments in Del Valle, Diagne's most recent residence, FBI agents surrounded Unit 813. A neighbor heard agents announce themselves on a loudspeaker before breaking a window and removing a door from its hinges. Residents reported hearing what sounded like gunfire followed by what one described as a grenade going off inside the unit. FBI agents were seen entering and exiting the apartment throughout Sunday. A second search warrant was executed at a property on Kickapoo Cavern Drive in Pflugerville, connected to the estate of a possible relative of Diagne. ATF agents were seen carrying boxes of what appeared to be evidence from the Pflugerville property. A robotic bomb dog was deployed at the residence. Investigators are reviewing thousands of hours of video footage from the scene and surrounding areas. Diagne's image was also captured by a Tesla camera on the night of the shooting. More than 150 witnesses have been interviewed. Diagne's social media accounts, computers, and digital footprint are being examined. Investigators are specifically probing whether the attack was motivated by the U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran that killed Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei the previous day, February 28. Officials have been explicit, it is too early to confirm a motive. What has been confirmed is that the clothing, the items in the vehicle, and the timing of the attack against the backdrop of the Iran strikes are all being treated as material to the investigation. Body camera footage from the officers who engaged and killed Diagne is expected to be released publicly by Thursday, March 5. Additional details on Diagne's full criminal history are expected to be disclosed at the same time. The investigation remains open. The FBI has not ruled out additional individuals connected to the attack. 3 people are confirmed dead: Savitha Shana, 21. Ryder Harrington, 19. Jorge Pederson, 30. A 4th victim remains in critical condition. 14 people in total were hospitalized. The FBI has not confirmed motive. The contents of the vehicle have not been disclosed. Body camera footage has not yet been released. The Pflugerville search has produced evidence that has not been publicly identified. And the question of whether Diagne acted alone has not been definitively answered. Was the clothing a message, a motive, or a deliberate trail left for investigators to find, and if so, who was it meant for? A doorbell camera caught him leaving. A court record documented the violence. A judge ordered supervised visits with his own children. Mental health encounters were flagged in Texas. 2 weapons sat legally purchased in San Antonio since 2017. None of it connected before West 6th Street. 3 people are dead. A 4th remains critical. The FBI terrorism investigation is open. The vehicle contents have not been disclosed. The body camera footage drops Thursday. And the full picture of who Ndiaga Diagne was, and whether he acted alone, is still being built. Crime Spectre will follow every confirmed development in this case as it breaks. Subscribing means no update gets missed.